The Wiregrass Museum of Art created the Intergenerational Learning Project to give students like me the opportunity to learn from those in other generations. All of the people interviewed have one thing in common. They have risen above hardships and now have an informed and wise outlook on the past and our future. With each interview, we were presented with an opportunity to learn more about our world, our culture, and our local history. Now we present our conversations with you.
Hi, I'm Victoria Gosselin. I'm 18 years old and I've lived in Dothan my whole life. I've recently graduated and I'm headed to Loyola, New Orleans in the fall. My father has served on the board here at the museum for a while, and I've been coming here for as long as I can remember. I'm really excited about this project and about my involvement with this project because I find that there's so many stories that are not told or unsung, maybe. And I'm really just thrilled to be able to help sing them, help deliver them, and bring them more to light.
Hi. Konnichiwa. I'm Carol Hara. I live in Dothan, Alabama with my husband of 55 years, and I am 77 this year. But anyway, I think this program is really important, and I think it's important because it gives insight of life of Japanese Americans like us. We want to bring more awareness of Asian Americans. When we moved here, there weren't many Asian people here, especially Japanese. I think we might have been the only second family that were both husband and wife being Japanese. But we did want to bring awareness to the public. And of course, there's a lot more adversity here now. But can you imagine almost 50 years ago, not many. I think we had one Chinese restaurant, but no Mexican restaurants.
Well, not in the 50s.
No, right. But anyway, so, just to bring awareness and to let people know, even now, people ask us how long we've been in the United States.
Really?
You see? And when we first moved here, I didn't even know I was Japanese. Can you
Really?
imagine? I didn't even know, because when you're in California, we grew up in Fresno, California.
Okay.
Well, people don't ask you, well, how long you been here? Because it's so diverse.
Wow.
So, we grew up with all kinds of people. I think we were just really fortunate. Mm-hmm. So, when we moved here to the South, well, how long you been here? Like, who, me? here in Dothan.
Right.
You see,
right.
We moved to Gainesville, Georgia for 3 years. Then we moved here. So even over there, people would ask us. But so I want to bring awareness that not just people that look like us.
Right.
Guess what? My parents were born here too. Right. Now they're already deceased, but they'd be about 100 years old now. But anyway, there's other people that have been born in the United States for centuries.
You really didn't have a whole lot of time to pack up and go. In other words, I believe we had 5 days.
Really?
Right. They started rounding up all the Japanese, and they put them in little kind of like a congregating place for all the Japanese. You couldn't go anywhere. Some were sleeping in stalls of horses or whatever.
That's right.
And anyway, all I know is that you couldn't carry anything that would be, used as a weapon. So you couldn't take anything like kitchen utensils or anything like that. You just had to basically pack up your clothes and leave. So they put a ticket on you, you know, just like you see in some of those movies where they got tickets, they give you shots. We end up at the train station, we get on the train, we're going to Phoenix. Of course, at that time, we didn't know where we were going. I didn't know.
Good.
But when we get to Phoenix, everybody gets off the train, they load us up into these big old semi trucks with you know, the rails on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So you're hanging on and you're going into the desert. And that was it, you know. It was just regular barracks with the tar paper outside, nothing on the inside, no plumbing because it was just electric.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they had a main bathroom and a mess hall, which was, you know, all separate. And each one of these segments are broken into certain blocks. So at our camp, we had 27 blocks.
Okay.
So each one of those blocks had their own bathrooms, their own mess hall, and there used to be a barbed wire fence around, and these MPs, or whoever they were, with machine guns, they had nothing to do because nobody ever tried to escape.
Yeah.
You see, there was nothing that happened there that would get people to think that, hey, some of these guys are not on our side. Okay,
Right.
so, and plus that, you know, you got 60 miles of desert to cross. Where are you going?
Yeah.
You don't know. So, that was the camp life. And of course, it's hot, there's no trees. Basically, we're on an Indian reservation that when I talked to a guide that we went to see where that camp was, which no longer exists, but it's in the Gila Indian Reservation. And according to that guide, he said the government didn't have any permission to do this, but they did it anyway.
Well,
Yeah, times are tough back in those days, and like I say, you know, the old folks who all they know was work, you know, because most of these folks that were in this camp were farmers, okay? And the thing is, here you are stuck in a camp, you don't know, nobody tells you anything. You don't know how long you're gonna be there. And it was, like I say, so hot that people, those old guys would dig you know, like a basement underneath the barracks just to keep cool.
wow.
Because it's 120 in the shade, and hey, let's face it, there's no shade.
Right.
So, you know, they would sleep down there. But the bad part of that was Arizona's got these scorpions, or even rattlesnakes that,
Wow.
you know, some of them don't wake up, you know, because they were just down there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was about it. We did go to school, you know. They had teachers there. It was kind of different because first of all you saw was Japanese people. You know, when I was going to school in Fresno, it was kind of mixed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden it's all the same, you see? And that was kind of interesting, you know.
Mm-hmm. Huge.
And just like other immigrants from Europe,
Mm-hmm.
or my grandparents came, and his parents came to the United States to make a better life for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
you see? And so they were for the United States, not for Japan at that time.
Right.
So,
Well, just think, there was about 150,000 Japanese people rounded up,
Mm-hmm.
but they had no incidents with people trying to, or treason or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no incidents. And if you can imagine, our camp had 7,000 or 8,000.
After leaving the camp or being released from the camps, did you find that there were lasting effects with like your family dynamics, like as far as maybe like finances go? Like,
Well, my brother and two sisters that were in high school already, but they missed their graduation.
Really?
You're right. So eventually, I think it must have been in 1970 or 1980 when they finally got their diploma.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Life goes on.
Right.
You just gotta forget about the past and move to the future.
Very
That's all
true.
there is to it.
Very true.
Yeah. My brother Sam, since he was the oldest and he was 17 at the time, it was a situation there where the government says, "You want to join the army?" And he says, "Well, why should I join the army? You guys throw me in prison."
Right.
He says, "The only way you can get me is you're going to have to draft me." So they drafted him, and so they went to Camp Shelby, Mississippi. At this time, I'm probably, 7 years old. So I didn't know what happened.
Right.
I mean, he was gone, that's all we know.
Right.
And I think, if people are thinking that, well, did he have any animosity or anything? No, because he went to serve his country,
Okay.
you see. And it was kind of an honor to see, because if you have a service member in your family, they they have these little plaques that you hang in a window,
Right.
and it's a star with the, red, white, and blue. And so that kind of, makes you proud, because
Right.
here you are in a camp because there's a war with Japan, and here your own brother is out fighting a war for the U.S. in Germany. So they were in the one of the most decorated military outfits in the whole U.S. Military outfit. As of today, there's nobody that has more medals than they have.
Wow.
And I think he's got two Purple Hearts,
Wow.
a silver and a bronze star. And then, of course, their outfit, the 442, got the Congressional Medal of Honor from the president.
Wow.
So that's a big honor. They had a big hurrah when they came back. They came back on the Queen Mary, had a big ticker tape parade in New York City, and all was well.
Other than that, like I said, we just moved forward. My parents, thinking back, I wish I could have asked them more questions, but they never really talked about being incarcerated, just a few things, but it was nothing was really negative. They always said, just work hard, study hard, and we would just move on. And they really worked hard. And so we're grateful.
After watching this film, we hope you have learned more about your history and choose to become an ally to your neighbor in the future.